Everybody, we're back here on another session where we're going to work on this painting. Trying to get the shot framed here really quick because YouTube decided it wanted to start without some advance notice. Okay, so what we're doing today, we have the larger of the paper, and then we're going to transfer what we drew last time on the smaller paper to the larger paper. So this is mostly going to be tracing. Hopefully we can start painting. Got all the colors ready and the glass of water right here with this for the paint. I'm going to move this over here so you guys can see it. Use this as a prop for the painting here. And if you guys are listening in the background, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Okay. So what we drew last time, if you don't remember, is this. We're going to transfer this to the larger paper and get more detail this time. I've got pencils here, and we're going to do that. All right, so why don't we start tracing this? This is going to be like a half Earth with the layers of the atmosphere above it. So, again, you don't have to be super accurate with this because we're going to go over it with paints later. Kind of, sort of like that. Now, so this is the Earth, right? This is what we're drawing, remember? Okay, we're going to do the United States, or part of the United States. Oh, we should do most of it. We should do the whole United States. Actually, all of North America. Start down here with the Gulf of California, Baja California. I'm doing this from memory, so if I screw up California, I'm sorry. Okay, so that's Alaska up there, British Columbia. I'm not expecting this to be accurate because I'm not the greatest at geography, drawing the geography, but I think I'm not that bad either. It's Florida. Okay, up here is Cape Cod. Get up to Canada here. I know that's not completely accurate. You guys are commenting, I'm not saying it. Sorry. I've got the phone facing the other way so I can't see the comments, but I'm trying to draw the upper part of the country here with Canada. So there's Cape Cod. It'd be like New York area, Maine. I might have to look at a map before I get this fully filled in, but I know. Okay, so here comes Greenland down here. Actually, Nova Scotia would be attached, so let's do Nova Scotia. That's over here. I've been there, so I should know this. Kind of, sort of like that. There's PEI right there. Let's see. Salt Lake is going to be somewhere over here. Actually, let's draw lines so we can get the United States in here. I know the Pacific Northwest looks a little different than that does. Yeah, I'm going to have to look at a map. I'm really bad about drawing geography, like up, especially above British Columbia. And let's just do that. This over here. All right, so I guess that's kind of accurate. I'm not worried about these pencil lines because I'm going to cover them up eventually. Here's the Great Lakes. I really did screw up the Northwest or Northeast. Where's Michigan? This would be Lake Michigan right here.
Jesus Christ, man. What, you got a problem? Yeah, this makes me seem like a whore. You are a whore. I'm not a whore. I'm a handsome companion.
Lake Michigan doesn't end right there. There's a little bit of a... I'm going to redo Michigan. How's that sound? I really screwed up Michigan. You move it over a little bit. Here's Vermont, Pennsylvania, New York. Michigan. I really suck at this, so I'm sorry if I'm offending people from Michigan that I can't draw your state. There's the Upper Peninsula. There's Lake Superior. Now I should do better with Minnesota because I know Minnesota very well. Obviously because I live here. Anyway, I suck at that, but that's kind of the United States right there. I really don't like this over here. There we go, that's better. There. I know it doesn't look like that, but when you get the color in, it's not going to matter. We're just doing the outlines right now. Okay, so that's Canada up there. Gotta add Hudson Bay. Huge ass Hudson Bay. That looks better. Before I get this all finalized, I'm going to look at a map to make sure I didn't screw everything up, because I know I did. Florida's not that big. Okay, so there's Louisiana. That's Mississippi Delta down there. Let's see, Texas. If you guys can hear the audio in the background, that's It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I'm gonna probably get a copyright strike. Nope. I'm not striving for 100% accuracy on this, but it would be nice if I could do it accurate. Nevada. Oh yeah, I'm screwing this up big time. Here's where I get. Here's where you can laugh at me all you want to. Drawing the states. Washington probably goes to about there. I'm going to start with Idaho, coming down. Here's Idaho. Oregon. Canada, or not Canada, California. There. Better. California's not even that big. God, I cannot make up my mind on this one. It's better. I suck. I failed geography. No. This is really gonna be, it's terrible. I'm doing this from memory, so I'm sorry if I screw up your state. You know what? I'm just gonna work on the top half of the country and go down. That'll help. All right, so here is Montana. Goes over here. Wyoming. That's into Utah a little bit. That looks a little better. Nevada comes down here. That's a little better. Maybe California is that big. Again, I'm sorry if I can't see your comments. If you're making fun of my states. Four Corners. Arizona. Colorado. Nebraska. The governor of California or Nevada. The governor of Nebraska apologized for his state being so flat. I think Kansas is flatter. Which is right there, Kansas. North Dakota, nothing going on in North Dakota. Yeah, I really screwed this up. This should be longer. Because Minnesota starts right here. Yeah. This is terrible. I'm gonna have to move everything. Well, anyway, yeah, I'm screwing up on drawing the states, but maybe I'll just color over that and not even bother about the states, because I'm just gonna screw it up anyway. Obviously, I can't do it from memory. Let's look how tiny Michigan is. Okay, so that's the basic outline of that. Now, up here, I'm not going to worry about the crappy states yet. I'm debating whether I want to just start this over. Okay. All right, so we're going to draw the skip cloud that's pissed off up here. And he's angry. Last time I did this, we had 2 days worth of skip opening, so I'm hoping it'll trigger skip opening again when I'm drawing skipping, getting everybody else but us. All right, so now we're going to draw where the transmitters are, kind of make this look like FM lists. The most common transmitters now I see pop up every once in a while. God, I totally messed up that. Anyway, yeah, I'm not going to even draw the states because it's just too much of a hassle just to remember where everything is and get all the measurements right for paper. If I was really going to invest a lot of time in this painting, I would, but I'm not going to make it super detailed because I just want to move on to another painting where I can spend more detail on like my other ones that I've created that you saw last time I did this. So we're just going to do a blank United States. All right, so here would be Lloyd down here in Louisiana. We'll put in a Florida DXer. Put in the two guys up on the East Coast here, Bryce and Nick. They seem to get skip a lot. And then here, let's put somebody in Ontario. Bill Hepburn. Put my friend Justin in Michigan. He gets skipped more than I do. And then we'll put us here in Minnesota, which would be right about here. I love It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Okay. There's not a lot of DXers. Let's put Randy over here in Nevada. There's not a lot of DXers in the middle part of the country. This middle west part of the country over here. There is the guy in Garland, Nebraska, that gets boatloads of skip. And then we'll do a guy in Kansas. Let's see, we'll do Les in Alabama. He's right about here. So if you see yourself on this list, congratulations. You are one of the DXers that's going to get skipped. We, right here, are not going to get skipped because that's what's happening so far this year. That's a pissed off skip cloud, 65 miles above the earth. All right. I'm going to show Randy getting 2-hop skip here. He's going to get skipped to the guy out in the Northeast. We'll do the bragger guy in California getting skipped to Texas as usual. We'll do Patrick up in Florida or Oregon getting skipped out to, let's say, eastern Colorado. We'll get guy in Idaho now. He used to be in the Washington area, but now we'll get him getting skipped to the Midwest. How about the guy in the Midwest getting skipped over to California? Oh, actually, Garland will be getting skipped anywhere. Garland's going to be getting a lot of skip because he always gets skipped. Particularly to the Florida and North Carolina, I've noticed. But here's us, little old us in Minnesota getting nothing. Here's my friend, other Justin, getting skipped to Texas like he normally does. Lloyd will get skipped to Wyoming. Les will get skipped to Nebraska. Guy in Florida will get skipped to western Kansas. Maybe Bryce is farther south. Bryce will get skipped to Colorado as well. But here we are, getting nothing. The guy in Ontario will get skipped to Texas. That seems to be pretty common. I'm basing this on common skip pass that everybody gets every year. It's ridiculous how similar all the paths go every year. It's always the same thing. Of course, Randy with his super wild 2-time skip. All right. Nobody's getting Canada, though. We don't have a lot of DXers in Canada. There is a guy up in Alberta that gets stuff, too, from time to time. Let's get him getting Louisiana or eastern Texas here. Okay. So what I was going to do is I'm going to draw some lines here. apologize for the content of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I can't control that. If you know the show, you know the show. You know the content. So this would be the E layer. Here's the ionosphere. And then up here you have the F layer. But I don't believe Skip has ever gone up in the F layer on FM. It does it on lower VHF. Most of shortwave bounces off those higher levels at night, especially. All right, so like we said here, I'm going to see what kind of color I want for the ocean. We're not going to do gouache yet. I'm going to do gouache last because I always do that last. I don't want to do gouache first because it's hard to paint over. All right. It's a nice color. I like that. Let's try the other one. They're pretty similar. Okay. We're going to use a wash brush to kind of get more color. Not worried about specifics yet. This is not going to be one of my best paintings because I'm doing it on a live stream, obviously. If I was to really pay attention to this, I would have a better painting, but this is just kind of a fast one that I want to get out because I'm frustrated with how Skip is going this year, or lack thereof. We had 2 days in a row of Skip at the beginning of this month, and nothing since. Over the weekend, a bunch of people out in the East Coast got Skip, but of course, by the time it made it to Minnesota, it was like, nope, I'm done. You know what's really been getting the shaft this year is the West Coast. I almost feel sorry for the people on the West Coast. Almost. Ooh, that mixed with a little bit of brown or green there. I don't know if you guys saw that. Again, this is just a base watercolor. I'm not going to worry about. It's going to really pop once I get the gouache on there. Of course, the gouache is this stuff right here, the higher quality paint with very good pigment. That's a cyan. That's why gouache is more expensive, because it's good. Now, this is one of the things I've been doing to pass the time more than sitting on a radio listening to static all day, because that's depressing enough. So I'm trying to find other outlets to help my frustration with the lack of Skip this year. Actually, we've even had lack of Tropo. Tropo's been crap this year too so far, but it's early. Only June. Tropo gets better in July. Should start, especially late July, when it gets really muggy and obnoxious here in Minnesota. Okay. And unlike that one, we're doing the same color. I might go back with a pen and draw in the States, but right now I'm not going to worry about it because I can't, for the life of me, do the States. I'd have to look at something as a reference. Pretty sure I got the shape of the country right, but not the States. On the other hand, I don't know. The cool thing about watercolors is if you screw up, you can fix it. Just takes more watering in it. Sometimes screw ups are happy little accidents. All right. I really like the color of the sky on this one. I kind of forgot how I did that. That was more of like a grayish blackish. A little bit of blue. I might have to mix some colors, so you're going to see me mix this one here. Let's get some black going here. Sorry if my hand's in the way. I know not that many people are watching, but I'm just doing this just out of frustration for lack of skip that we've had, as I've been saying. You're seeing me vent my frustration with lack of skip right here. This is how I do it. My creative outlet. If you guys are paying attention, that's It's Always Sunny in the background, and it's an episode where Frank is a cop. Charlie's in the backseat of the police car. All right. It's almost too black. Almost too dark. Let's add some of that blue. Okay. And again, like I said earlier, this is just the base. This is just the background. When I get ready to do this, the gouache, then you'll see it really pop. I'm making this really watered down so I can stretch the paint. But it's going to have to dry, obviously. Didn't Shannon say that?
Hmm?
Put an egg in your shoe and beat it.
Mm-hmm.
And the cloud is going to be gouache, and that's really going to be exquisite when it pops. It'll be a little bit of white. That's the cool thing about gouache is when you're done with it, it really pops. Ugh, I screwed up. See, there's a screw up right there, but that'll be fixed. Running out of ink here. Just trying to get as much color off of the brush as possible here.
Can I help you?
The real question is, can we help you? See, my partner and I have been cleaning up the streets the past couple days.
Is that right?
All right.
You know how the system works. You guys can't get your hands dirty, but my partner and I, we're not afraid of it.
And I'm using the wide brush right now. I'll go back with the detailed brush later. I'm just using the wide brush to get. Normally I don't paint these fast, but I know I'm on a live stream, so I'm doing it faster. If that's bothering you, I'm sorry. I normally put a lot of effort into these ones. I'm just doing this one on a live stream, so it's faster. It's like a Bob Ross painting, except for accelerated and not as creative. I call them happy little accidents. I miss that guy. There's a documentary coming out, or it's actually not a documentary, it's a real movie coming out about him pretty soon. Maybe it already came out. Can't remember who the cast member, who they got to play Bob Ross. He was a nice guy, though. I think he was a drill instructor or something. He was some like hardcore military guy. So, which is hard to believe because when he painted, he was just like super friendly and fuzzy and in your face. You can do anything you put your mind to, you know, don't be afraid, that kind of stuff. All right. You put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. Come back with a different brush and kind of straightening things out here.
Yes, could you please direct us to the nearest bus stop?
Okay, so now I think I'm gonna do like a greenish, dark greenish for the. I like this color right here. I really like this color for the ground. This is what I'm basing this painting on. I think this was a little better actually. This one, smaller one. Oops, there's a mistake there. That's okay. That's fixed. That's gonna be fixed anyway. It doesn't matter. Let's do. It's like a greenish, regular green. Yeah, that's close to what I had. See, here's a fun fact about me. I am colorblind. So this almost looks like an orange, even though I know it's a green. It almost looks orange to me. I have a hard time with greens. Greens, reds, blues, purples. I'm pretty much screwed in the whole spectrum. I see purple is blue, I see brown is green, pink is gray. I have trouble with some oranges, and there's another mistake, but I'll fix it. I just have trouble with lots of colors, let's just say that. But thanks to some help, if you look at my other paintings, you wouldn't even know it. I have help. I have somebody who can see colors that helps me. Like I said, I'm using the big brush to kind of get the main color out. And I'll come back later and fix the smaller stuff and the mistakes with the small brushes. This is called a wash brush. It's not the biggest brush I have, but it's one of the bigger ones. I've got another set you're not seeing right now. And I'll come back with the gouache and put the Great Lakes in. That's what the gouache will be good for, is putting Great Lakes in. And Salt Lake. I can identify the general region of the area, but I can't draw it. Just make this all green. Like I said earlier in the broadcast, if you're still watching, last time I did this, we had 2 days in a row of skip openings. So I must have appeased the DX gods by painting them pissed off. Because they gave us 2 days of skip openings. That was the best series of openings I've had so far this month. But that's it. It has not happened since. It's been very quiet. Like today, there was like maybe one person that reported skip. Maybe a few down in the southwest or southeast. Boy, I'm really screwing up here. I'll fix that. People down here were reporting skip, but up by us, no. Nothing, zero. There was one really weird skip log this afternoon. I don't know how legit it is. Well, that looks really nice. Contrast, that darker green. That's what I love about these smaller brushes, is you can see the color better. It doesn't wash it out. Not worried about not having the Great Lakes painted in, because it'll come in later. Nova Scotia. If you've never been to Nova Scotia, I highly recommend it. One of the best provinces of Canada right there is Nova Scotia. Beautiful. The people are nice. There's lots to do. Good food, too. You really should try the food. Plus, if you're at a particular restaurant, a French guy might come up and light your candle because he wants you to be romantic. That's a true story. And McDonald's there was like light years ahead of the McDonald's here in the States. They had like fancy ordering things before the McDonald's in the States got that. I mean, they're here now. We have the touchscreen order crap that lazy people use. But at the time we didn't. Nova Scotia had us beat by a couple of years. Plus, they
Hot dog. You.
compost a lot of stuff up there. Everything is all composted and recycled and
Oh, thanks, Frank.
very green.
Appreciate that. I'll take care of it. In fact, Special Agent Bauer and I intend to
They
take
encourage you to
photos today.
compost. They encourage you to do good stuff with like the environment.
No good, little crap.
Canada takes that crap seriously.
Get the knife to borrow this. Whoa, 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 what are you doing?
And what's cool is when we get ready to, we can use the gouache to paint in some details here. We can do the Rocky Mountains. Like I can do the Mississippi with the gouache. And I'm just going to leave the states off. I'm not going to go back and draw it. It looks nice without the states. It's too cluttered with the states. I've decided that. Besides, if you were looking, obviously if you were looking at the Earth from space, you wouldn't see the states. That's a dumb observation, but yeah, it's true. This is going to be black, so I'm going to cover up my mistake there.
God damn it, Jack Bauer. You really are the man.
All right. I think we got, oh, I forgot Greenland. Oh, no, Greenland's not green. Greenland is white because of the ice. All right, so I'm going to come back and fix these, bless you. I'm going to fix these issues along the coast here. Oh, that's a really cool color. I really like that color. It's not the color of the water, but it doesn't matter. I really like that color. Is that like a tealish? Not teal, but like... See, my color blindness, I have a hard time explaining what kind of color that would be because I only see in various shades. So that's like a... I know it's a blue-green, but that's a very cool color right there. Wish I could make the whole thing that color. Beautiful color. Very vibrant. See, that's the one thing the gouache can't do is it can't, you have to, unless you mix it, it can't do the specific colors very well. Requires a lot of mixing and it's thicker paint, so you have to be careful. Snap, 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 snap. Viewer discretion is advised. Viewer discretion advised. Did you still want to go see Final Destination tomorrow?
Dude, I'm not gonna read
Yeah.
this bullshit. Just get me a course. What do I think my greatest strength as a server is? What the hell is this, Frank?
I've heard it's good.
This bar is a business, and we're gonna start acting like one. I do not want to start acting like a business because that sounds boring as shit. Yeah, that sounds terrible. Plus, it's 10 days long. You know what? Might have filled out. Oh, that's gonna affect your rank. What rank? I put us all on a ranking system so you kids would care about your job.
So right now I'm going around and fixing my screw-ups by adding a really cool color here. It's starting to fade off because the green
That is bullshit.
isn't as strong as it was over on the other side.
Why the hell would I do last?
Too much lip and very sassy.
Sassy?
Yeah,
That doesn't make sense.
Like right now, you just don't know what. You are late. Look, I told you I just signed the bar up to host a dance competition that's going to be hosted live by the Q Crew on 102 Radio. The Q Crew. Good work, Q Crew.
Yeah, that would be a good idea, except it's not a dance contest. It's a dance marathon.
Wait,
It's amazing how much that
I guess we're going to be
color got messed up by the green. It's watercolor for you folks.
Time, Saturday.
I'm using the same exact color. You're seeing me use it, and it just keeps changing every time.
Whoa, wait a minute.
It's because of everything else mixed into it.
I put the bottom of the pride section, the things that you're proud of section.
Okay.
See, Charlie? Right.
Did you read that goddamn thing? You know what's so mercy is true. Mercy is everything.
Charlie Day. He always sounds the same in everything he's in.
I have an important question. Does this make
He's always over the top.
Stop with the access. This is what Frank is talking about. Never know when they showed up. Wait a second, maybe this thing isn't legal. No, it's legal. There was a lawyer there. He stamped it and everything. Well, what the hell are we gonna do now? We're gonna dance our asses off.
The gang dances their asses off. That's what that episode's called. Okay. Oh. Like I said earlier, if you're just joining me now, I'm doing this one fast. Normally I don't do them this fast. Normally it takes me like 3 or 4 hours to do these or more. Sometimes days. But I want to do this one for the camera, so this is going to be faster. We already started last time with the stream of this smaller one. Just proof of concept. Let's try this. Like that. All right. Apologize for the language, but that's it's always something to tell about it. All right, so what I'm thinking of doing for the sky here is I'm going to start dark and blend it to a little lighter, maybe a little blue in there. Kind of like a glow. Let's see. So you can gradually like move up the mix colors even in the trays here. As long as this thing is still wet, you can drag the colors around, and people have probably made watercolors are laughing at me for my technique, but I don't care. Everybody has their own technique. There's no one way to do a watercolor that's better than others. Well, I mean, there's ways, but... Okay.
We've only been dancing for like 2 minutes. You challenged me to dance off.
Oh, I knew it was those guys. All right.
All right, folks. Our 2 dancers have 1 song to strut. Their style. The loser will have to wear the 25-pound keg around his neck for the rest of the competition. And James. Yeah, man.
So yeah, now that these colors are blended, you can drag the colors up and make it sort of like a gradient over here. I really am rushing this one.
Stay tuned to explain more where that came from. Why don't we mix things up a little bit by slowing things down? Everybody couple up and hit the dance floor. Don't be afraid to get 6 close. Osmond close on Q102. I do not even understand the smell coming from your body.
And see, look at that. It actually doesn't look terrible. It looks pretty good. The blend there on that side. They're always mean to Sweet D. She puts up with it though. She lets it happen. Again, I'm going really fast for this one. I'm not putting a lot of effort into this painting as much as I could. Maybe off camera, I will put more effort into it, but right now I'm not worried about it.
All right, so who's next? Who's looking good out there? Well, a young couple over there looks pretty limber. We should take them out. Okay, settle then. I'll take the girl. I'm gonna dance with the waitress for a little while. No, that's not gonna work, Matt. You take the waitress, you tire her out with your spastic movement. I'll tire her out with my awesome movements. You should get into it more, dude.
I love this brush. Okay.
This is so restful. I'm really building up my reserves for later, you know?
Yeah, I'm just really glad you helped her.
What do you think?
I like it.
Gross? No, I can't. When you're dancing like that, I feel like you're gonna hit me just. There's no way to
Pissed off cloud that's flipping off Minnesota. And what's cool with the gouache paint is you can create clouds. So I'm going to create clouds over the United States as well. Make it look like weather. That's going to be the last thing to do though, because you can't go back from that. It's very difficult to go back from that.
What the hell are you doing?
Blend the water better down here.
Cocoa bang. Oh, that's funny. Oh, it's like he's feeling you up. No, listen, I don't want to get in the middle of it. Okay, I'm just trying to teach your fiance a new dance. It's pretty cool. You don't have to cry for that, do you?
Honey, I think a little dance instruction might help us last longer in the competition.
All right. Just make it quick. I'll make it quick. Glory, this next part, you're gonna want to grip my bottoms.
Okay, we're done.
Right, now we're gonna go down nice and low. Grind and shift and around and push and feel and grip and grip.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. Now, take that fan brush up here.
Well, I'm glad you're over it because he's definitely gonna bang her. Oh, come on, you're over it. You're not over it.
All right, look, I gotta stop that. I can't let
You gotta stop that, Charlie. You know what I think you gotta do? You gotta get Matt out of this competition.
Yes.
You gotta get rid of him.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
All right, how do I do that?
I got an idea.
They burned you too, didn't they? I know how it feels. The pain hurts. How about you and me, we join forces and we make...
You know what? I forgot the islands over here. I forgot Bermuda and freaking Cuba. Oops.
I want these guys, Frank.
I forgot the islands.
Stalk the streets and live in the shadows of the
Oh
night.
no.
And they'll run away with them.
Whatever will I do?
You're damn right.
Gouache will come in handy when I want to add the islands in. Got this stuff right here. I can use green gouache.
Hey, sorry dancing with the waitress, but you know what? I'm not jealous. I'm very impressed with your dance moves. Oh, Charlie, come on, man. What's this dancing with people keep trying to find all this? That whole elbow thing? You like the elbow thing? Great. I mean, it's a very specific choreograph. What it is, well, I'll show it to you. I don't know.
Fixing the mistakes over here.
Hey, man. How do you feel about Dennis? This is not right? I feel like he's a little
How about that?
number one. This whole thing goes down.
Wow.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, you deserve it. Let's just, I mean, that's just a fact.
No, I think
I've been working so hard.
part of me thinks that the drawing here is wrong. See, this is what happens when I don't, I'm not very good at geography. Part of me thinks that the comes back up here a little bit. The Pacific Ocean comes a little up here instead of this straight line up to Alaska. But see, that doesn't look right to me for some reason. It doesn't. It looks like the United States is too boxy. But I don't know. I'm not terribly worried about it.
Why don't you just go with the best dancer? Hit it.
If you saw my painting of my cat Chevy, you know I messed up on him too. Okay. We're going to give the cloud a little bit of a base.
Oh, God damn it. Well, glad that's settled. I'm gonna go get in that chick's pants now. I thought they were engaged, dude. Yeah, engaged. Come on, that's the word. Doesn't mean anything. It means they're getting married. Married, engaged. Just words, you know. My parents were married and engaged once.
Okay. All right. That needs to dry. In the meantime, I'll kind of show you what gouache can do here.
It's perfectly natural to blame the teacher at first. We're all feeling a little tired.
A little bit of white here.
Get out of here, Gloria. No, wait a second, Robert. That's not a good idea. Gloria, you've come this far. You don't want to stop now. Butt out, man. This is none of your business. Now, come on, honey.
Robert, we came here to win. We need this.
Violent guy.
I hate it when it gets like that.
All right. Well, let's see.
I feel your pain, man. We all do.
Use my preferred brush here again. I like this one a lot.
Shut up, Cricket. What you talking about? You're filled with
Water off this.
One
All right. So this is gouache. You have to.
number two. You're not even in the contest anymore, bro. We certainly am. I have an inside
This is how you do white whites on canvas paper, because usually canvas paper has a opaque, like a off white.
Come on, Matt. Join our crew.
This allows you to do like white whites.
Street rat, keep working. You are on your way out. So, you might as well go out with a
Covers up a lot of stuff here.
Okay, I'm in. But I don't know how much longer I can last here, Frank. It's killing my back. I'm up with a rig. Shut up, street rat.
Oh, it's getting pretty close to that pretty girl, huh?
Kicks and giggles. I'm gonna put a line here.
I don't want to make him jealous. I want to win your guard. Oh. What? How do you think I can make him jealous? I'll tell you exactly what you need to do. You see that homeless guy over there? Yeah, I'm going to dance with him. That doesn't make
See, kind of the gouache kind of makes it
me tired. Well, I am tired.
a little bit poppier, I guess.
No, it's not. Yeah. All right. You know what? I'm a sister. I know him really well, and I'm a lot better than you. I'm telling you, the only way that you're going to be able to land Dennis is by making him feel that he's lower on your list than a disgusting, filthy homeless guy. I'm going to go grind a homeless guy. Good girl, make it dirty.
It's also good for covering up pencil lines, so you don't see the pencil, obviously.
Eat your heart out, Dennis Reynolds.
Hey, look, if you get bigger, and you get properly laid up and like grind on me like all sexual like, Charlie's over there blowing up my spot with that girl.
He's blowing up your spot.
I know.
Better make some moves to get her back, don't you think?
I'm gonna make some moves like a ranked number 2 guy would.
You're number 2.
I know. What's up, bitches? Oh, why are you dancing so strangely? Because I'm on my energy. I got tons of energy now.
All right.
Energy bar. Have some.
It's like a shit ball.
No, what's an energy bar?
Why is it so heavy and big?
Because it's filled with vitamins and shit. Come on, guys, just eat it. You'll have a
Let me see. I'm trying to decide where I want to put the clouds.
medicine. You traitor.
Could do a hurricane over the Gulf. That'd be kind of cool. Where Cuba was, because I screwed up, forgot Cuba.
You are pathetic.
Is this pathetic? What the hell are you doing, bro? What, man? I don't get into a sexual lady? No, that one isn't my partner, but I'm cutting out. Come on, yeah, come on, let's go. Come on, I need her, man. I need her. Let's put it that way. You know what? You know,
There's hurricane. All right, guys. I'm gonna end the live broadcast there. We've been doing this for almost an hour now. I'm gonna continue working on this, and I'll come back and maybe we'll do the finishing touches with the next live stream. But until then, hopefully we get some skip openings, because I'm really getting kind of frustrated with the way the atmosphere is working this month, or lack thereof. So to answer your question, Fish, this is a E-layer giving a middle finger to the to Minnesota. That's what. Yeah, that's exactly what this is. He's going to have more detail. He's not detailed right now. I just wanted to cover up the pencil lines, but Yeah, it's an E layer giving the figure to the United States. But for now, we're going to sign off and we're going to call it a day. But thank you guys for watching. If you have any ideas, put them in the comments, like what I should put in here, because right now it looks kind of plain. It's not one of my most detailed paintings. Like I said, I wanted to have like the DX locations here. You can see those drawn in pencil. Obviously, I forgot Cuba, so I'm going to kind of draw that in there. I might have to redo this whole section down here. I forgot Bermuda. I forgot, the islands down here. Of course, I'm going to add the Great Lakes in eventually. And I'm going to redo the entire United States with gouache at the end because it's going to be nice and pop, this green gouache right here. But right now, I'm just kind of spitballing for ideas. If you guys have any ideas, leave them in the comments when this video's over. If you want to help out. But this so far, how you create a watercolor with some gouache painting already in it. It is the middle, E-Cloud giving the middle finger to Minnesota. So see you guys later.